today we're going to go over some of the new stuff here for Season 2 of Arena Breakout Infinite on PC. So starting with the weapons, and then we'll get into some of the, I'll show some of the new gear, game modes, things like that. This is the Season 2 preview. The season itself will launch at the end of April. Now, if you're interested in seeing more gameplay, I will probably be streaming it on Twitch over the weekend here. So that link should be down below in the description. But let's start out here. New weapons, and then we'll look at attachments. You have the AK-12 firing 5.45 by 39 millimeter, excuse me. This is the newest Russian assault rifle that won the Ratnik trials in replacing the AK-74. So you can see the increase in fire rate is 730 rounds per minute over the AK-74, which is going to be 550 rounds per minute. So significant increase in the rate of fire there, up to 730 rounds per minute firing the same caliber. So really good gun there. Next up is the Sig Sauer MCX Rattler, chambered in 5.56 by 45 millimeter, excuse me. And again, this is, you have I believe it's a 5.5 or the 9-inch barrel on this for the Rattler. It is 5.56. Unfortunately, I was hoping for a 300 blackout, but again, good rate of fire at 700 rounds per minute. Next up for the carbines, you have the, let's see here, we'll go over the SVTU. So this is the Russian carbine chambered in 7.62 by 54 millimeter. It's a big beefy round, semi-automatic, 200 rounds per minute for this. And then for new pistols over here, we have the Glock 17. You also have the Glock 18C. I'm not sure if this was a new one or not. And then you have the FN57. So Glock 17, Glock 18, FN57, I believe are the new ones. I could be missing one of them here or misinterpreting the pistols, but I'll link that down below or post a picture of what the new weapons are for the new content. So the FN57 is a really cool gun, chambered in 5.7 by 28 millimeter, 400 rounds per minute. You look at the Glock 18C, again, full auto, 9x19, 1,000 rounds per minute. And the Glock 17, again, 9x19, 400 rounds per minute, only semi. So really cool guns here. I think you also have, the M45A1, which I believe was already in the game. It could be the new one. I'm not really too interested in pistols. But you do have some good things here for the pistols that we'll go ahead and look at. So first up, let's go ahead and go back to the assault rifles. Let's look at the AK-12. Some of the attachments you can do there. So we'll go to the AK-12, start the assembly here. Now, for this weapon, you can see for the stocks, you have the AK-12 tactical stock. So you can go ahead and select that one. And then you have the adapter, so you can put on whatever else you want there. AK-12 standard grip. You have the new AK-12 mag. Now, handguard-wise, you have the standard handguard here for the AK-12. If we go ahead and look, you also have a more tactical handguard, which has quad rails on it. Okay, it's a longer handguard too. And then you also have the special handguard for the AK-12. I think that's the other one there. The HG, yep, so you have the HG, the special, and then the multi-port tactical handguard, which is probably the better looking option there. Now for barrel length, I think you have a fixed barrel length here. You can't add fixed barrels. You have the one dust cover option. You have your iron sights, etc. there. You can throw, obviously, because we have a quad rail here, we can throw a grip on. We'll go ahead and put a Russian RK0. And then we can go ahead and throw a laser on there also. Now, some cool optic additions here. I'm not going to cover all of them, but you have this M1 red dot, which comes on a riser now, which is pretty neat. You also have the TRDS, which is an aim point. Now, the cool thing is here, you can also put a riser on this. So you can add the aim point on the riser. You can also add the M1 on a riser. You can really do kind of whatever you want with that, which is pretty neat. And you do also have an option, I believe, for a larger scope with this 34 millimeter, I think, option. I believe you have a very large scope. You have a 16 times scope here. I think that's the biggest one in the game so far. So that is also added to the game here as well. And you can see you have lots of options for putting optics on this thing. So really cool. Go ahead and just select that aim point there. And then suppressor wise, you have the AK-12 suppressor or the AK-12 muzzle brake. So we'll go ahead and just throw a suppressor on there so you can see that's the AK-12. We'll just go ahead and complete that build. Close that. Now, I'll also just build a Virtus really quick. Or a Rattler, I should say. So the Rattler is probably my favorite gun in this. It's tough to say because I like both these weapons, but go ahead and put this MCX mod stock on. You have obviously the grip option there, magazine options, just an Ag Bag any 5.56 magazine. Now you have the base handguard and you have the tactical handguard, which again quad rail, so we can go ahead and put a grip on that. We could also throw a laser light combo on there. Then you have the flash suppressor, which will help with the recoil, and that's a threaded device, so you can go ahead and throw the suppressor on there as well. Go ahead and put a riser and the aim point on there, and that's our MCX 6-hour MCX Rattler. So really nice looking build there. Go ahead, we'll complete that assembly, and then I'll show you. That should be on our 2 slot, and then we'll just put in the 5.7. I'm not going to show all the pistols, but I will show just the 5.7 here because there is a cool feature that they added for quick draw for pistols. So we'll go ahead. I'm not sure if we can even put a suppressor on this. It looks like we cannot, so we'll just stay with the base pistol. You can throw a laser on there. Oh, here's our threaded device. Okay, so we can throw or just a regular suppressor on there, which is pretty cool. And you can put optics on there as well. But we'll just keep it simple. Return to the shooting range. Infinite ammo's on. Okay. So let's go ahead. Go over here. Start with the AK-12. The inspect animation. Check our magazine. Since we have the AK-12 mag, we can see how much rounds are left. Pretty accurate weapon. It sounds really nice. You have the recoil overhaul here with this build too, which is great. So, really cool. AK-12 slaps pretty hard. And again, not a lot of recoil on this gun. Either of these don't have much recoil, so really neat. Now for the MCX Rattler. Go ahead and do the inspect there. And then we can, there's our mag check. Here's our inspect. Again, very low recoil weapon. Obviously, your range is going to be a little bit more limited with this, ideally, because of the shorter barrel. And you can see you're getting some horizontal wobble out to those longer distances. But still very accurate. And now for the quick draw, just by selecting my pistol. Back to it again. So this would be really good in close quarters. And then I can easily switch back to my primary. So like close quarters against bots, this would be really handy. You know, going into a close quarter room or something like that, right? Coming in and then just switching out. Especially if you have a longer barrel weapon. I mean, the AK-12 isn't like super long barrel, but you have a 16-inch barrel, I believe. So, you know, just coming into a room with this and then switching to your pistol for bots. Or if you had a Glock 18C, right? Just switching to this and taking out enemy in like a close quarters room would be great. Now, let's go ahead really quick. I'll drop these, show you guys the SVTU quickly. Now, it seems like this did get a nerf here. Let's go ahead, SVTU, select that. So you can put an optic on this, right? So we can throw, we can put some beefy stuff on here. Put that 16 times optic on there. We can throw a suppressor. We can throw a larger mag. And that's really all you can do, right? So the SVTU, this is a big, this is going to be pretty crazy because it's a big caliber. So let's go ahead and select that. So 762 by 54. Probably need to zoom. I'm at 200 meters. Not really sure where my drop is here. Keep it ranged at 150. There we go. So not a lot of drop there at all when I had it ranged right. Now, as fast as we can fire it, let's see. You know, I mean, close quarters, this could still be a problem. Obviously going to be a one-shot headshot pretty much no matter what. I think you have tier 7 ammo available with this also. And I can get shots off relatively quickly. So definitely could be an issue there. So those are all the new weapons. Let's go ahead. Let's go back to the lobby, show you guys some new items in the market here if I can. Now there is also some other, there's some new attachments there that I'm not going to cover everything in this video. I'll probably, once the game comes out, or the season itself comes out, I'll take a look at those. But you do have, at least in the last build that we were able to look at, we do have some new equipment. So if I go to helmets here, let's see. We do have, they redesigned this Indie tactical helmet. So you can see they added kind of some camo on top and patches on the left and right hand side to kind of distinguish it. So that's really cool. It's the same helmet, but it looks a little bit different. So they did a cosmetic redesign there. The other helmets, I believe, are all the same. Masks, let's take a look. All the masks look the same. Now, body armor, I believe these are all the same. This BT 101 may be new. I can't remember. This is tier 6, so I think this is one of the new ones. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember because I've been playing. I played the preview for this earlier, which we weren't allowed to share, and then I played, you know, going back to regular. So I think this is a new tier 6 right here. This BT 101. It's expensive though, so it is chromatic plates on that thing. Tier 6, it's expensive, but it's a good one. So unarmored chest rigs. Pretty sure these are mostly the same. Maybe this M92 is a new one actually. So this M92 is 24 slots. This is a new one from what I can see here. And then if we go to armored rigs, I prefer to run these just because you get a 2-for-1. I think we have, let's see here, we have the Warrior Heavy, which we've had, the H-Tech A8. This could be a new one at tier 5. I probably should have had a reference of the old build here, but I don't. So I think this might be a new one. It may not be. It's tier 5. It's composite. AVS Heavy, that's one of my favorite go-tos. The AL Assault, I believe, is a new one. This is tier 6. So the AL Assault, definitely a new one here, composite. And then you have the AL Tactical Armor. This I also think is a new one. Chromatic. And then the AL Commander, which again, I think this is a new one. So hard to remember off the top of my head. Haven't played a regular one in like a week or so now. But regardless, this is hardened steel tier 6. So this thing, that's definitely a new one. Really good. As far as backpacks, I believe these are all the same. Headsets, you get this everything the same there. Gas masks, I don't really think there's a difference in these ones. Thermal imaging, I think, is all the same there. So that's pretty much everything here for the season. Now you will notice the menus, right, are a little bit different. If I were to go into, first off, we'll look. You have the tactical ops menu, limited time events. So we have team elimination and solo ops is here. There's also a team deathmatch, which will be rotating in and out. So you have these two for limited events. If I were to go into a tactical ops here on farm, let's say, just select the map. The staging area here is different. You get the map in the background. You and your buddy can hang out in here, okay? And then also for the events page is different. You can get in here that way, so it's just displayed a little bit different. You have the battle pass. Some of this looks different. If I go to the point store here, they updated these, so they actually are, you know, boxes instead of what they had before. So it actually looks like boxes and bags of loot. Go to the advanced ones. Also, you can see the difference here. So it's showing you, you know, what's weapon, what's ammo, what's whole gear sets, etc. And then we can also go to the season here. We can look at our season objectives. A little bit different of a screen. And we can also go to our rewards here. Again, a little bit different of a layout here for selecting these ones also. So that's pretty much everything. Also, the contract menu or the mission menu is also a little bit slightly updated. You'll see here. Not too much, but it is definitely a difference for the missions and all of that. So a little bit updated there. It shows you what your rewards are. They did a lot of gameplay changes too. Again, I'll be streaming that over the weekend most likely here or over on Twitch, which the link is down below. Let me know what you guys think down below. What weapons are your favorite? Till next time, this is Buffner Gaming. Again, follow me on Twitch down below. I'll probably stream this Saturday and or Sunday for the Season 2 preview. The Season 2 will come out at the end of this month, I believe the date is. So stay tuned for that. But I'll be running the new map on stream, which is lockdown exclusive, I believe, for Northridge, which is a heck of a map. Really, really cool, big map, and you can fight in the motel here in the background, 4-building motel, which is great PvP. This is an amazing map, so we'll be running this all the time on stream this weekend. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. What's your favorite weapon for Season 2? What weapons do you want to see moving forward for the game? Till next time, Buffner Gaming, out.